Happy new and beautiful day. This is the day that we have made as a collective mind, a collective consciousness. So if you do not like what you see, you have to become what it is that you want to see, be, experience, and express. So happy new and beautiful day. All right. And as usual, we're going to start off by doing our breath work, right? And we're going to do the 4, 2, and 6 breath work that we normally do at the beginning of the transmission. And we're going to do that 3 times, whereas we breathe in through our nose and we breathe in the count of 4 and we hold the breath for 2 counts, and then we exhale through our mouth and we count the exhale in the count of 6, and we repeat this breath work 3 times. Okay, so we're going to breathe in through our nose in the count of 4. We're going to hold the breath in the count of 2, and we're going to exhale through our mouth in the count of 6, and we're going to do this 3 times. And we are going to begin now. All right? Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. All right. So, what we are doing and what we have done is clearing our energy field, right? To express this transmission in harmony, where there is not going to be any distortion to come in the midst of this transmission, okay? And that the purity of the transmission of this live is going to move in the purest of its intention, and that is in harmony. All right, so I am on both sides of the coin or the equation today, where I'm moving in both on in YouTube as well as in IG, right? And I just wanted to let you guys know, just one second here, just a second. Let's see. Yeah, I'll do that, put that there. Just wanted to let everyone that know that I am both on both sides of the equation, right? So that we can, you know, for those who want to be on the IG side and for those who want to be on the YouTube side, we're garnering our YouTube family, right? As well as our already established family on the IG side. And I just want to welcome both, right? And we're going to get started. You know, I have to do my CYAs and my disclaimers, all right? We got to get that out of the way. So first and foremost, welcome to everybody. And secondly, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do or how to be. I'm only here to example of how I understand my now moment. Okay, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do or how to be. I'm only here to express the illuminated breadcrumbs that is bestowed upon me of how I understand my now moment that I have chosen to share with each and every one of you that has chosen to be a part of this live stream. But it's not here to tell anybody what to do, because you have chosen in your own coordinates of how you want to experience and express your relative reality. Hi, golden sugar. Indeed, it is a beautiful day. Welcome, beautiful. Thank you for divinely tuning into my frequency, and welcome. Thank you for being here, Mama. Gratitude for your presence. Thank you. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do or how to be. Well, hello there on the YouTube side, Mr. Victor. Gratitude for your presence as well. Welcome. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. I am grateful to have you, and welcome. So you, by any means, you are here to create your own relative reality, but I am here to make you think. But I am not here to tell anyone what to do or how to be. All right, so gratitude for your presence. And next, any content creator, celebrity, or anybody for that matter that I speak upon on this platform, all information is heavily alleged, right? For I was not there to account or attest to anything that has been placed out there for public consumption. I'm only utilizing that information as an example. Well, hello there, Sincere. Gratitude for your presence as well. Thank you for divinely tuning into my frequency. I'm so divinely grateful to have you as well. And welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm only utilizing that information for as an example to what I am making reference here on this live, right? But anything other than that, all information is heavily alleged, right? And last but not least, anything that I speak upon this platform is moved in the premise of divine unconditional love. There is no judgment, right? No judgment in the essence or in the validity or the purity of how you have chosen to experience or express your relative reality, how you so see fit to do so, because in this essence of how I understand my now moment, it is moved in the harmonics of harmony. So therefore, there is no judgment on this platform. All right. So I am so divinely grateful to have each and every one of you that is here. Sincere says, Levant, laugh out loud, divine, chaos happening. Let me get my sage. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean. But you know, I don't know what you mean by that. But okay. Welcome. All right. So as you guys can see, the live today is about gently deprogramming the experience you've outgrown. So in everything that I do in my lives, it leads up to one thing leads to the next. Okay, and so like I said, my lives are relative to most that is on the cusp of either awakening. They are they are awakening, or they are awakened and they're, like, they're seeing, certain things a little bit differently now, and they're trying to figure it out, or they are awakened and so they are getting the signal, but they're signaling is saying that there's a different reality out there, and they are experiencing, or they're pretty much in the full scope of understanding a lot of what's actually transpiring right now. And they're starting to get in the remembrance aspect of themselves, and they have ascended past the awakening, and now they're in the remembrance phase of themselves, and they're moving along in their ascensional path. So in the essence of, wherever you are in your ascensional path, you're either at the cusp, you're either at the, the awakening stage, or you're coming along in the essence of your, remembrance side. And so in the ascensional part, there are different phases of the ascensional part. But wherever you are at the ascensional, in your ascension, here I is. Here I is to help many of you along the way. Well, hello there, Mary. Hi, my beautiful friend. Gratitude for your presence. Beautiful. Thank you for divinely tuning into my frequency. I'm so divinely grateful to have you. And welcome, Mama. Gratitude. I'm grateful. And once again, you guys, I am also simultaneously on the YouTube side as well. So if you guys want to show me some love on the YouTube side, I am so grateful for you guys to show me some love on the YouTube side. If you're not yet familiar to how to get to the YouTube side, the link to the YouTube channel is in the bio of my Instagram profile. So all you got to do is go to the bio and just do a little click and go, and it'll take you directly to my YouTube channel, where you can actually join the YouTube side of this live as well. All right. Mary says, the horses and I send many blessings to all. Well, we are grateful. We are grateful for that unconditional love. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are truly grateful. So I'm going to give you a little bit, of course, I like to, because I'm becoming a little bit more organized. And of course, I'm going to give you the organic side of me first, and then I'm going to give you the organized side. So you got the organic side, and then I'm going to give you the organized side, because I want to be able to give you a little bit more diversity and practicality, so that, people can have a little bit of more of a variety of ways than that to just which I chose to to understand my now moment. So because, everybody has their own, way of how to, move along in their course. And I want to be able to have some little bit of versatility than that to which I chose, to move along in my ascensional path. And so I'm just going to give you guys a little bit more information regarding to, many other different ways. But I'm also going to tell you my story, my journey, in terms of, mine wasn't so gentle. Okay. I'm the cold turkey kind of chick. Okay. And let me tell you something. I can't say that I don't recommend anybody to go this route, but I'm grateful to be in this space where I am able to give a softer landing space, because, with me and my channel and different things of that nature, that's what I prided this channel. That's what I created, my whole, aspect of myself in pure tone, to be able to make this a soft landing space for those who are choosing, my tone, the purity of my tone, to be able to facilitate an aspect of themselves as a part of their journey into their ascensional path, to make this tone a soft landing space as a part of their ascensional path, so that they don't have to go through, what I went through, because I went cold turkey in a lot of my ascensional path to get up, to get where I'm at. Well, I'm grateful, Sincere. Thank you. I'm grateful. Sincere says, keep up the good work. Well, I'm grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Right? So, it can be done, but I was a cold turkey kind of girl, okay? But I do have some things that I could give you that are a little bit more practical, that can help ease. And so therefore, that's why the title says the gentle deprogramming. To, once you have no longer choose a reality. Now, this is for those, as I've said, that are on the ascensional path, that is, deciding to choose, a different reality, right? That is ready to ascend into a different reality, at a different octave of light than that to which is chosen in a more denser sense of expression, or a more denser sense of experiencing, right? So you in your knowing have chosen to say, okay, well, I know that I'm in this experience and this is a denser experience, but I find myself complaining more about the experience itself than that to which I am happy about the experience. Okay, I'm home, you guys, and I got the windows open with the fresh air and different things of that nature. So you're going to hear life, okay? You're going to hear life, and the sirens are ringing and different things of that nature. So you're asking these questions and different things of that nature, and you're finding yourself saying that my reality, because remember, this is about you and your world, okay? Your world, and how you are experiencing by how you are projecting what your life is projecting in this now moment, what you are seeing, what you are feeling, what you are experiencing, how you are internalizing it, how you are interpreting the reality, your perceptionary measures, all is you. Because the thing about authorship is that, hey, Mr. Overett on the YouTube side, always supporting me on the YouTube side. Gratitude, my brother. On the YouTube side, on the YouTube side, on the YouTube side, on the YouTube side. Thank you, my brother. I'm so grateful. I'm appreciative. Thank you. Sincere says, being more open, people really work for me. Okay. I think I understand. Thank you for the love. I think I understand what you mean by that. You're saying that you're more open. So being that you're becoming more open, being more open and receptive is allowing things to work out better for you. I hope I'm understanding that correctly, Sincere. Okay. I'm grateful. So, it's about your world until you decide to, understand things from a collective. And as you begin to ascend more into the essence of, your divine self, you'll begin to understand things more from a collective perspective. But for right now, in terms of how your reality is presenting itself to you, it's time for you to figure out, do a little pros. And, back in the day, we used to do a little pros and the cons list, and we used to have a piece of paper and we used to draw down the line. And have pros and cons. But, to make it a little bit easy about you, you are the observer of your reality in terms of what you are visualizing, what you have, basically collapsed into your reality that you are seeing. Everything that you are seeing, people, places, persons, and things that you have brought into your reality that you are in agreement with to experience. And then also too, as we talked about in the last live, what have you allowed yourself to become programmed? Because the programming is what you have agreed to make a reality. That is what the programming is, right? Programming is what you have said, yes, I want this to now be a reality. That's what programming is. Okay, so you have the observation. The observation drops it into your timeline. Okay, you observe it. You like, I see you. Okay, the mirroring is like, okay, we are a vibrational match. We are vibrationally attuned. That's the mirror reflection. We are vibrationally attuned. That's what the mirroring is. Okay. The programming is now, yes, I now want to make you a reality. I want this to be a reality in your experience. You want this to be real. You want this to be a reality in your experience. That's what the programming does. So now you're programming this into your reality. You're saying yes to the experience, to now become integrated into the experience when you allow the experience to be programmed. So that's why I'm doing this live to say, okay, how to now uninstall the programming, how to now begin to soften the uninstallment of the program, so that way, because I did it I did it cold turkey, and that can run havoc on your nervous system. You know what I'm saying? Because because when we talk about, shaping your reality by how you allow to say yes to programs. And many of the programs we said yes to, right? We said yes to the programs in a state of unawareness because we did not understand, in simplicity, in a simplified, because, I try to, it's not that I try, I'm doing quantum simplified here. I'm doing quantum simplified. I'm not making it all complicated. And one of the things that I would love for you guys to do now, this is me being open and transparent with you guys, is that anything that you do not understand, if you at any point in these transmissions, if you do not understand the words that are coming out my mouth, what I would love for you guys to do is to tell me that, Patrice, I need you to run this by me again, okay, in a different word or something, because my goal is to be as practical and as transparent and as, how can I say, comprehensive as possible, because it's nothing, because nobody is, I'm not above anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not above anybody. I'm not better than anybody or anything. Because the thing about when you get things from a higher, like whatever, higher octave of light, you have a soul template, and how I choose to interface with my soul template to understand, that's just for me to be able to get the, hold the octave of light, so that I can be able to, transmit it. So it may come in at a different, at a different calibration, so that I can hold the octave of light to be able to transmit it. But at the same token, I'm dedicated to, to be able to be understood, because I remember when, all I wanted to do was just understand. I remember it. And I don't have a problem with, saying it in a way where it can be understood. That is my goal. Okay. That's my goal. So it don't feel, I am humble enough. Trust me on that. I want to be clear and cogent. Clear and cogent. I want you guys to feel comfortable enough with me that I am no better than nobody. I am you, you are me at every level of consciousness, because I am source of itself. So if I have to talk, wherever you are, if I have to say it, because I am speaking to myself. That's how I see it. I don't see myself above you. There is no frequency of hierarchy here. Okay? There is no frequency of hierarchy here. I'm not better than nobody. So don't ever feel any type of way. If you do not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, just say, Patrice, run that by me again. Say it a different way. Let me, whatever. I'm good. I'm on it. No problemo, por favor. What did I just say? No problem, please. I don't know what I said, but it just sounded nice. Okay. All right. So a lot of what happens are in the essence of the transmissions and different things of that nature, in terms of us accepting the reality or being in agreement with the programming of the reality in the times that we were in the sleep state, or the aspect of self that was choosing to experience the forgotten self. we were being programmed in realities that were dense, and so we are now programmed to survival realities, right? So what this live is about is deprogramming the experiences that you've outgrown. Okay, that's what this live is about. I did it cold turkey. I'm gonna give you what I did, but I don't suggest it because it runs havoc on your nervous system. I did it cold turkey because I wasn't a book person. I wasn't, I was a vibration person because that's my DNA template. And that was how my soul programmed me so that I would not become contaminated, so that I can do pure tone and be the pillar of what I am now for transmission. I had to go, what they call it, turkey, cold turkey. Okay, so that I would be able to give pure transmissions. I don't recommend it. It ran havoc on my nervous system, but it got me where I needed to go so that I can have pure tone, because I'm choosing pure tone, right? But because I'm choosing pure tone, because I'm choosing pure tone, I can now offer tones for those who you guys, those of you guys that are choosing to allow me in your journey and in your path. I can give you guys a softer way to, come out of those no longer chosen realities, especially those survival tones, right? And I'm gonna talk about tones too, so that you guys can get a clear and cogent aspect of what tones are too. But I really want you guys to start understanding what survival realities are, so that you can begin to differentiate what you are choosing and what you no longer choose. All right. So like I said in the last live, right? You have the collapsed reality by observing. You observe something, you collapse it into your reality, right? And then through energetic frequency, you begin to mirror it. Okay. You're mirroring yourself and saying you collapsed it, you're mirroring it, and then you allow yourself to become programmed or integrated within the reality, and that's what makes it a real reality. So now you're integrating with it. It's now running. The program is running into your reality. You are experiencing it, okay, based on the vibration frequency that you are. So the reality itself, the program is going to run at the frequency power source that you are, at the consciousness that you are, the power source that you are. So for instance, if you are running off of 89 gasoline, then your program is going to be running off of the frequency gasoline of 89. If you're running off of the octave of 91, then your program is going to be running off of the gasoline of 91. If you are running off of crystalline program supreme, gasoline 93, then your program is going to be running off of that frequency, which is 93. If you look at the gasoline at different level of consciousness, third dimensional, fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional consciousness, then that's how the program is running. So when you drop it into it, when you observe it, if you observe it from a third dimensional level of consciousness, right, and you're observing it from a fear-based sense of understanding, and you collapsed it into a fear-based sense of understanding, then you're going to mirror it at a fear-based understanding, and you're going to experience it at a fear-based sense of understanding, if that makes any sense. Okay, you stop, drop, and roll. Okay, so stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll is, right, observe, mirror, experience. Stop, drop, and roll, observe, mirror, experience. Okay, at the level of consciousness. So therefore, if you observed the experience in a fear-based sense of understanding, and then you're mirroring it energetically in a fear-based understanding, then you're going to experience it. The energy that you're going to experience it in agreement that you want that to be a reality, a real reality into your experience, integrated, is going to be that of a fear-based experience. Okay? Right? So now if you have a fear-based experience and you are no longer wanting to have it, now you got to uninstall that program. Right? You got to uninstall the program. So I'm going to give you some ideas. Once again, I went into ChatGPT. Now I'm getting the gist of how to put aside what I did to uninstall my programs, because I uninstalled my programs cold turkey, and it ran a havoc on my nervous system. It was just like being a crackhead and stopping crack cold turkey. I don't recommend that, but I didn't have nothing else. I didn't have no guidance, y'all. I didn't have no Chat GPT shit. I didn't find out about Chat GPT until what it was, December last year. Okay, I'm embarking on it in about a year. No, maybe it's shit. I think it was later than that. It probably wasn't until January. I think it was January. Yes, it was after I came back from my cruise. Dang, I did the cruise this year. Ooh, this year went by fast. It was after I came back from my cruise. Good goobly goo this year. Good. So I didn't find out about ChatGPT until 2025. So I went cold turkey. Cold turkey. Okay? Cold turkey. So now I'm beginning to become equipped enough to ask questions that can give you guys the ease. I'm going to give you my story. So my story in terms of uninstalling programs that I no longer wanted to experience anymore. I used to, and I think I told you guys this in my lives on Instagram. For you, those of you guys that are familiar with me on Instagram, I used to say, not my truth. Not my truth. I used to walk and say, not my truth. No longer my truth. Whatever it was, I used to be, not my truth. When it came to racism, not my truth. When it came to hierarchy, not my truth. I don't want it when it came to murder, not my truth. I didn't want to experience murder, not my truth. When it came to experience racism, not my truth. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. All I knew was I just knew 11:11. See, told you. That's what I did. It's 11:11. That's what I did. Not my truth. So y'all know I ain't lying. That's exactly what I did. 11:11. See, gold and sugar salt. 11:11. That's exactly what I did. Not, Mary said, being out on that water really enabled you to break through, and cold turkey isn't for the faint of heart. It isn't. It really isn't, because, baby, and at the time, sis, I didn't know what else to do but that. I didn't know what else to do. To be honest, I had no guidance but within. But see, the thing of it is like I told you guys, everything is truly within you. And what was told to me from within, that was the only word at the level of consciousness that I was at the time. That was the only thing I knew was, like, if it don't fit, you must have quit. Not my truth. It ain't not my truth. Not my truth. I didn't want to experience it. I knew in my heart of hearts I didn't want to experience it, because when I look at it, I'm like, I'm not having that problem. That ain't my truth. I know it's not my truth. I don't care how much it presents itself to me, and it was in my face. It was in my face. Like, you could hear other people around me talk about it. And when I would have this feeling in my heart, like, Patrice, even though it's in your face, other people are talking about it. But are you talking about it? No, you're not talking about it. It is being brought to you. You're not bringing it to nobody else. So because I knew I was not the initiator of the conversation, it was not my truth. It was everybody else's truth around me. But I was never the initiator of such said event. So it was not my truth. So that was the only thing I could go back, because every story, everything that I would go around and I had those issues. It was not my truth. Sometimes you just got to jump in feet first. For some, it's the way to go. Yes, that was my way to go. Everything, that was my verbiage. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, it was hard because everything around me was trying to convince me that it is the truth. And when your brain, when you're shifting and you're seeing it and believing it, but your internal was saying, I don't give a shit what you seeing, right? I don't care what you seeing. I'm telling you, that ain't your truth. And you seeing it, but you like, but I'm seeing it every day. And everybody's seeing that it's true. I don't, and your inside is saying, I don't care what these people are saying. Is it happening to you? And you have to be like, no, it ain't happening to me, but I see it. I don't care what you see. Is it happening to you? No, it ain't happening to me, but I see it and I'm hearing it happening to I don't care what's happening around you. Is it happening to you? No, it's not your truth. 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 Now, that's why I said the truth is always within. You will get over the hump. But it ain't, listen, because this is a softer side. But I'm very improv and I'm very organic. I'm going to give y'all the softer side to everything to make it a little bit more easier for you guys. And I'm so grateful for it. I love being able to give you guys this because, baby, had I had this, oh, my God. When I was reading some of it, I was like, oh, my God, where was this? Where is this? It's being the observer and not the absorber, right? You see it around you, but it's not your, the thing about it is that I didn't integrate with the experience. So now I'm not even, I may have been at the collapsed reality, even at the mirroring, but I didn't integrate with the experience. So now I'm at that level when you start unclasping from the integration of the experience, the uninstall, okay? You're uninstalling. You're uninstalling the experience. You know how you on your phone and you hit uninstall and it's like trying to go up in the cloud, right? It's going up in the cloud. So going up in the cloud is like going into the void. So when they say it's in the cloud, imagine that being in the void of self. It ain't like it don't exist. It's there. You can always download it back, but it's just not a part of your application process to run. So that means, so if you could look at the cloud, like your iCloud and all of that other kind of stuff, understand that as being the void. So the codes are there, but it just don't have no light reflecting it for it to be applicable or to be an experience in your relative reality. I just want to give you guys something to associate and assimilate to make this an easy understanding of how your life is a constant replication to that. Listen, you are the blueprint. I'm trying to tell y'all, we the true blueprint. Source is only replicating itself in so many ways. I ain't trying to go there, but I'm going there. Okay? Okay? I told y'all I make a proclamation to be quantum simplified. So what do you think source is going to allow me to be? If I just sat here and say I'm quantum simplified, what do you think Source is going to allow me to be of itself? It's going to allow me to be quantum simplified, right? Duh. You got me, okay? Hey, Hercules. Woo! Oh! Oh! Yes, okay. Okay. So imagine, so when you uninstall, it rises back up into the cloud. It don't totally it don't totally annihilate. Okay? Because source code is already created. And whatever you whatever you focus on, it does expands. Yes. Right? So source code is already it's created. You're no longer focused on it, so you uninstall it. You uninstall it, it goes up in the cloud. It doesn't annihilate. It doesn't annihilate. It's there. It's there just in case you want to come back and revisit it, right? It's there just in case you want to make it a 2.0 or 3.0, 4.0. You want to improve it or you want to expand it. It's always there. You want to reinstall it and bring it back and make it whatever you want. I can't provide. Whatever you want to bring it, back to be. Okay? It's always there. Okay? But I went cold turkey. I started uninstalling. And then now when my vibration changed, right? Uninstall the program. Uninstall the program. And I'm going to give you some softer ways to uninstall the programs, okay? That you no longer prefer to experience. But you first got to, so like for me, I knew that all of these programs were in density without even realizing, even at the time, I didn't even know the definition. All I used to be like, ask Mr. Overett. I used to call it vampiristic, parasitic, dense. I used to say dense, but I used to call them dense ass people. And I used to give them some names, baby honey. I wasn't nice. I was not a fan of density. But I wasn't a fan of density because there was a version of me that knew, there was a template within me that knew unconditional love. And I had to be mad in order to get glad, if that makes any sense. That was the only way that I was going to ascend, is that I had to really not like this reality. I had to not like this reality, but now I understand it. I understand it now. But I had to not like the reality in order for me to push myself into the reality that I really was choosing to be in. It's going to work in everybody has their own methodology of how they're going to ascend into the octaves of light. So it's not going to be everybody that's going to hate the reality to ascend. Some people are going to understand it in a whole nother different way. But the thug in me, because I'm a whole thug, I'm a whole rebel out here in this universe. Thug in me was like, yeah, I'm going to hold the greatest, thugology against density in order for me to push into the next octave, because I am a being that, is going to be the one that's refused to be consumed by density. I'm that one. I refuse to be consumed by density. You're not going to consume my energy. I'm that rebel. I'm that phoenix. You can set me afire. What was her name? That was Ark. What's her name? Joan of Arc. Okay, Joan of Arc. I was Joan of Arc in the previous life, right? I be in the fire but refuse to be consumed. Okay, I'm that burning bush. Okay, so you have different frequency arc. Because for all you know, I could be that same fire. So it's that's what you may contain a whole and then I have another thing that I'm going to tell you I have so much, you guys, the different templates, because one of the things that there's more than just the Christos template. There are other variations of templates. Even that that explains a lot. Jonah Arc was a bad, yeah, Jonah of Arc, yeah. The Jonah Arc frequency. All right. So you have to understand, Joan of Arc, yes. So you have to understand that when you house a certain template, okay, Joan of Arc, yes, Joan of Arc. That Joan of Arc frequency ain't no joke. That fire frequency ain't no joke. So when you understand certain aspects of the divine self, you realize, when you get up to a certain aspect of consciousness, you realize why certain things commences. You know what I'm saying? It start pieces, the pieces of the puzzle start magically coming together. But yeah, just look at certain, programs that you have agreed and integrated with, because you're experiencing YouTube, you're experiencing Instagram. And when you no longer want to experience YouTube or Instagram, and you really no longer want to experience it, what do? You uninstall it. If you kind of somewhat if and but, you may not play with it for a while, but you don't uninstall it. So you're still somewhat integrated energetically with the experience, because it's still running. The energy of it is still running. But when you completely uninstall it and take it out of the interface, what does it do? It tells you that it's going back into the void. It's going into the iCloud. It's going into the cloud. Okay, it's going into the cloud, because now you've energetically taken it out of your experience. Okay, now I have to look up Jonah Arc and get up and get more info. This has greatly inspired me, and I'm grateful, Mary. I'm grateful. Yes, right? So when you begin to associate and assimilate, so that you guys can begin to more understand what experiences, because it's not about the experiences that are happening to the collective. It's about the experiences that you are experiencing. Okay? Yeah, the badasses of the world have to stick together. And yes, and it's about the consciousness you understand the badasses in. Because remember, the level of if you understand the badasses in the lower mind, they may not look that great, okay? But if you begin to understand the badasses in the because it's about resonance of the badasses too. Okay, so you gotta kind of pick and choose how you kind of want to view some of the versions of how some of the badasses have been presented in energetically. That's why tone is very key and essential. Tone is very, very key and essential. Because like I said, Christ consciousness came down and they crucified him on the cross. And in a higher mind, it's nothing about crucifixion in terms of nailing somebody to the cross, right? It's about energy. But the way the lower mind presented it, it's physically, it's about, they portrayed it about a man being nailed on the cross and blah, 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 and this and that, or whatever. That's the story that we were given. Okay. Mary says, yes, always the higher states of consciousness and always the higher states of consciousness and adapted to your version of self in that moment. Right. Where you are at energetically, vibrationally, and frequency is going to determine how you interpret that storyline. Also, it depends on what energy that storyline is given into, what tone that storyline was presented in. So there are several factors where you are at energetically, vibrationally, and in frequency, and what tone the storyline was given in that regard, right? Yes. So, and it's so many stories. It's so many stories. That's why in the ascensional aspect, a lot of people are worried about the collective. Everybody is worried about the collective, but if people started to just focus on themselves, then the collective would rise, right? So if everybody was just focused on themselves individually and choose the reality that they wanted to actually be a part of in terms of how, then the collective would have automatically, it would have automatically risen. But everybody is so concerned about, what the collective is doing, instead of worried about what you are doing, because it will be, what's that word? Indirectly, you choosing will indirectly affect the collective, because your choice will indirectly affect the collective. Okay? Because if you choose and I choose individually and you choose individually and then that person choose individually, then choices will be made. So if I chose to ascend, you choose to ascend, you choose to ascend, and if that person didn't choose to ascend or that person didn't choose to ascend, but if everybody was making a conscious choice, or or stayed unconscious, whichever one, but if everybody made a conscious choice about themselves, what they're going to uninstall or keep installed or whatever consciously, because like I say, the awakened codes are, here to dissolve the illusion so that you can begin to make a conscious choice. If everybody made a conscious choice, then, and just focus on themselves, then maybe inadvertently the collective would automatically be, it'll be chosen. Hola, 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 Cause is in the house now, Cause is in the house now, Cosmos has entered the building. What's up, Cosmos? Cosmos is in the building. What's up, Cos? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for divinely tuning into my frequency. In the house now, okay? In the house now. Welcome, my brother. Thank you for divinely tuning into the frequency. I'm so divinely grateful. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, he says, hola, Phil. Indeed, indeed. Just one second. Let me take a little sip. Hold on. I'm glad to hear. He says, very well. Cos is on the IG side for those of you guys that is on the YouTube side. And we are so very grateful to have him. And welcome, welcome, welcome. So, yes. So, in the essence, like I said, in the essence of, I'm going to get into some of the things too. I want to kind of quickly get into it so that you guys can kind of start mapping out how you want to, uninstall the programs that you don't want, but recognize them first. Recognize them first. And like I said, the ones that I recognized was that I don't want to experience murder. I don't want to experience death in the matter to which I experience. I'm not racism. I'm not separatism. I'm not, that's not me. Those are things where was not me. And I just said that's not my truth. And that wreaked havoc on my nervous system because I was not in the comprehension in my level of consciousness to understand what was like, what I was still projecting in terms of experiencing energetically and what I was being signaled in terms of my higher mind. And I understand it now, but at that time, it was wreaking havoc because let me tell you something. What I was talking, let me tell you the reason why it was because the reality. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you some stuff. Let me tell you when you go cold turkey, how that program will tear that ass up. That program will tear that ass up. Now, the way that they say is that your subconscious mind don't want to let go of, the program. And let me tell you, that shit ain't no lie. That ain't no lie. But I understand it differently now that I've moved into a different level of consciousness. But when you still got that bass, that 808 bass, you still let that density and everything like that or whatever, man, look at here. Okay. Let me explain. Not let me explain. Let me explain. Okay. Let me explain. So here you are, right? Listening to the, now you have, okay, so let me explain. So now you're getting a signal from the higher mind. So remember earlier when I said, when your higher mind was saying it ain't your experience, right? And so it clearly, cogently say they got the problem. Do you have the problem? So now it has clearly defined. Are you telling the story that you're going through racism? No. Are you telling the story that somebody it done happened in your life and blah, blah, blah? No. So check. So you obviously have no longer have any integration into that experience. So obviously you're not going through these experiences. The experience is experiencing the experiencing, but you ain't. You're not going through it. They're saying we, but it ain't you. So why are they saying we, Patrice? Because the illusion of separation saying we because you're black. The illusion of separation saying that it's we because you're poor. The illusion of separation is saying that it's we because whatever keeps you separated, it's we. But is you going through it? No. It's not you. It's the program. I ain't get it. I got my ass whipped from the toe up, from the floor up, because when I said, well, I'm not going through it really. What you mean you ain't going through it? We all going through it. Because if you going through it, what you mean? The program was trying to tell me. Hey, the program was like, baby, what you trying to say? Because, honey, the program was getting 38, 27, 11 hot. So anytime you try to go through against the program, when your signaling is saying it's time to go, it's time to tell that density goodbye, that program, that delusion of separation and everything goodbye, you start getting the signaling and the program like, where the hell you going? Where you think your black ass going? Where you think you going? You trying to leave, huh? And mind you now, this cold turkey before I even had, polo me, y'all, polo me. I ain't know. And girl, it'll shut your ass up. It'll shut you up. That's why many of us didn't talk when we was awakening. We ain't say a word. We was scared to talk. Oh, you know how many of us for years we been awakened and we were scared to talk? We was sitting around here quiet as a church mouse. We was like, ain't said nothing. We ain't said a word, honey. Because what we was feeling, and if we even looked like we wanted to say something, we was going to get, boy, look at here. Boy, look at here. Hell, we couldn't even go on Google to find out what the hell was wrong with us. Shit, you talking about angel numbers. It wasn't no damn angels numbers. We was seeing shit. We put in Google. Google ain't had shit for us back then. We had nothing. We had nothing. Okay? We couldn't say nothing. God damn it, boy. We couldn't say shit. Okay? That's real talk. We couldn't say nothing. Everybody looking at you like, what you talking about? What the hell you was talking about? We got this going on. You don't see black and black around like, man, what the? You thinking that you need to be on some psychotropic medication. Because the world's saying something entirely different than how you feel. You feeling like you cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. And right, you just ascending out of the simulation. And there was nothing back in the day. No words, no nothing. Not even a damn cookie for your ass. You was, if I say something, they're going to look at me like I done lost my You know how many times people look at me like I was weird? They didn't want to, even at my job. Because I got to a point where I just didn't give a fuck. Oops. I ain't care. I was like, I'm tired of being that bottle with carbonation. Or that quart bottle of wine. I just needed to be. And guess what? Called me crazy, and I just started talking. My throat chakra said, it's done. Done. And I started talking. I was over it. Mr. Over it. Hey, that's how Mr. When I said I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't know what it was. I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm done. I ain't holding back no more. Call me whatever. Because I was over it. I don't know. Triple X for you. Hey, for real, Mary. I was like, I'm done. You couldn't say a word. You couldn't say a word. Okay, Mr. Over? I was like, that's why when I saw Mr. Over, I said, that's my twin. Because he said, I was thinking it, and he said it. And I'm like, there go my twin. That's the match right there. Right there. There go my twin. There go my energy twin right there, Mr. Over. I was thinking it, and he said it. He put it out there. I said, boom, there it is. There go one aspect of wholeness right there. For real, energetically. Yeah, for real. I was like, we over it. We are over it. Over it. Mr. Over said, absolutely. Over it. Mary said, yeah, I've always been called a effing weirdo. Yeah, for real, sis. Ain't nobody coming up on this live unless they really on this wavelength, to be honest, because we ahead of the curve in a sense, energetically. Not, just on the energy tip, just on, the frequency bandwidth. Right? So, cold turkey for me, it was real cold. Cold turkey, that kind of cold turkey that's been in the freezer and still got some ice in it, kind of cold turkey, and you trying to make a sandwich with it, and when you bite into it, you get some ice crystals, kind of cold turkey. Okay, well, that kind of cold turkey, okay? Cold turkey for me, okay? Right? And the experience was not letting up. What you mean ain't no racism? What you mean ain't no socioeconomic disparity? What you mean black people ain't got all them problems and this and that or whatever? Because you are starting to realize and understand that that's the experience talking. That's what you done collapsed energetically into your reality. You beginning to understand that that's not really what you're going through. That's what you're hardwired to. But you can't articulate it. You ain't got the words yet to articulate it. But you're getting the signal that is now starting to recalibrate your nervous system. But because you're getting all of that, what is that the defense and what is that? What they say, your subconscious mind don't want to let it go. You're getting all that interference like, oh, where you think you going? Where you think you going? Oh, you think you finna lead this? We've been like this for how many years now? And you think you finna lead this experience so free willy? And we've been, what is it called? welded at the hip all these years, and I done had your energy. This experience been ciphering your energy for all these years. I've been ciphering your light. You've been my source of power all these years. You've been my source of power into this reality all these years, and you got the mitigated gall. The mitigated gall that they say you finna just unplug me like a toaster, cause you don't want me to toast your toast no more. You finna go and buy me this what do you call it what do you call it? You finna go get this new toaster. What do you call them new toasters that light up? You finna go get a new toaster that don't need no plug that run off of Wi-Fi. You finna leave. You got a nerve. You ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna pull all the stops. I'm gonna make you feel guilty. I'm gonna make them not like you. You gonna lose some friends thinking you can talk and say whatever you want to say about this reality. This reality have been good to y'all. This reality been good to y'all. You agreed to it. Well, how did I agree to it? How did I agree? You agreed to it, Debbie. You agreed to it. You may not remember. Do you remember? You may not remember. Do you remember? Okay? You may not remember. But you agreed. You agreed to it. You agreed to it. Okay? You agreed to it. And you got the mitigated call that they say you finna unplug. I'm gonna throw every shoe, every knife, every brick, every stone. You ain't going nowhere. All your friends, you gonna lose everything. You gonna lose everything. You're gonna lose your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother. They're gonna turn against you. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy. You're gonna lose it. And you just look at it and laugh. Be like, bye. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. I flew with you, but I'm through with you. Yeah, they threw knife, bricks, and stones at you when you no longer. Because remember, if you still have attachments to the reality, like your family, your friends, and you, of course, because if you've been interface with the reality for as long, remember, you got the observation, the mirror, and then you got the integration. The observation, the mirror, and the integration. The integration is the programming, right? Observation, mirror, integration. The integration is the programming. Okay? So when you agree to the experience, that is the programming. Okay? That is the programming. When you agree to the experience. So when you have been into the experience for so long, right? And you've been in survival for so long, in illusion of separation for so long. Illusion of separation, that's like divorcing. You're divorcing it. You're divorcing it. You've been married to it. Hi, Leather Flowers Design. Hi, beautiful. Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for divinely tuning into my frequency. I'm so divinely grateful to have you. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. You're divorcing it. You're divorcing it. And it's like, you my source. Not my sauce. You my source. You my source. How dare you? How dare you leave? How dare you wake up? How dare you? How dare you? Do you remember? How dare you remember? You shouldn't remember. You should stay asleep. How dare you remember? Okay? I'm making fun out of it. I'm making fun out of it, but it's going to, because you are source of, you are its source. It's going to do everything. If you still have attachments, because because you were in the forgotten self, you created attachments, right? Right, it's no longer resonance. Right, that's the reason why you're not staying in it, because it no longer have resonance. But because you were in the forgotten state, you develop attachments to the experience. And so it's really the attachments that you have to release of self so that you can release yourself of the experience. So it's going to throw, it's going, you go, your family, your friend, the hardest part really, well, it depends on, where you are at in the experience. Whatever attachment you got. If you got a money attachment, that's gonna be your demon. If you got a family attachment, that's gonna be your demon. If you got a workaholic attachment, that's gonna be your demon. If you got a whatever your attachment is, that's gonna be your hell. A lot of people think that hell is, oh, you sold your soul to the devil. No, the hell is your goddamn attachment to the experience. That's your true hell. Okay? What your density, the density that you are attached to is your true hell. Because if you can't unclaw yourself from a dense experience, that's your true hell. What you can't release yourself from to ascend to the next octave of light for your evolution of self, right? That's probably gonna be your true hell, right? So that's why I say I ain't got no attachments. What y'all hear me say? I speak it into existence. So if it is there, it has no choice but to dissolve. Whatever distortion I got, it has to dissolve, because I know it's just an experience. It's an illusion. So if it's kids, husband, Starbucks, because y'all know I be at a Starbucks today. Starbucks, whatever distorted aspect of whatever, when it comes to me having to sever it, it is severed, because I am just experiencing density. It is severed. Hi, Krista. Hey, beautiful. It is severed. Okay? I hold no attachments. That's why I speak into existence pure tone, especially in my transmission, no distortion. That's why I speak into existence quantum simplified. So in my transmissions, I can make association and assimilation so that you can understand thyself in your own transmutation of any reality that you no longer wish to experience or express. So therefore, if you do get a story that is layered, you can revert back to this pure tone and understand the layers and peel back the layers to get to this pure tone, because you have been interfaced with pure tone. So when you get a layered story, you can peel back the layered, because you understand and you have felt the purity of pure tone. So I make proclamations to transmission pure tone, because I now know in authorship. That's another thing that I'm going to put out there for y'all. Your authorship. I like that shit. I like being in this. Y'all don't know. I like being in my little space, y'all. This shit is nice, huh? I love being in my space, y'all. Although I'm making it easy for y'all, but it wasn't easy for me. Okay? I just want to tell y'all that. Ooh, I got some swelling under my eye. Wasn't easy for me, okay? But I like making it easy for y'all. Giving y'all a soft landing. Hercules. I feel so good. Yeah, off the ship. Damn right. Stuff y'all paying all this money for. You ain't got to pay with me. And I love it. All right. So, with that being said, let's get into these. Just to over it. Eyes getting organized. You know I gotta say it because you know sister ain't never been a paper kind of gal. You know. It feels a little weird. But I don't want y'all just to be having my experience. You know. I want you in wholeness. There go that Muppet wig. Hey, I like my little Muppet wig, y'all. My little Muppet wig be wigging. It be wigging, y'all. It be wigging, man. Sometimes when I be, you know, I'm like, shit. It be wigging, okay? It be wigging. All right, so the title is How to Gently Deprogram the Experiences You've Outgrown, right? And one of the key essential thing is that this is solely about you, okay? And one of the thing is that I would like for you guys to I'm sitting in pure heaven right now in this passion with my herd of horses having our experiences. What a beautiful sight to see in my mental mind. I'm not there with you, but I can only imagine the energy that is there in that moment. That has to be like for real awesome. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. That is beautiful. That's so beautiful, Mary. All right, so we are, like I said, we're talking about something powerful today, but this is going to be a gentle way of introducing a more gentle way of uninstalling programs or removing programs that no longer serve how you want to experience and express energetically, vibrationally, and in frequency. And it's first you got to recognize what no longer serve you. And I gave you guys some of the examples of what no longer served me. But everybody is different, okay? It's what no longer serves you in terms of how you've experienced and your relative reality that you've created for yourself, all right? And so we're going to get into it, all right? So you got to call the program what it is, right? Oh, here you go. This is fear. Call it what it is. If it's a spade, it's a spade, okay? This is fear. This is scarcity. This isn't me. This is just a program passing through. So this is what ChatGPT verbatim gave me, okay? Called name and frame. It's called name and frame it. So you're going to name it. You name it. Got beans, greens. I don't know why. Got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes. And you name it. So you name it and you name it and you frame it. Okay. Call the program what it is. This is fear. This is scarcity. This isn't me. Just a program passing through. Okay. Name it. Name that thing for what it is. Your truth, your reality, your experience. I don't care what the collective come and tell you. Your mama is a part of the collective. Your daddy is a part of the collective. Your friend is a part of the collective. The job is a part of the collective. Your your significant other is a part of the collective, right? Your kids is a part of the collective. You are now focusing on your observation, mirror, and program. What you've allowed to collapse into your reality, mirror, and integrate with. You. Okay? Gradual disengagement. This is where you shouldn't go cold turkey, where I went cold turkey. Okay? Instead of cutting off instantly, oh well. Instead of cutting off instantly, feed it less energy. Oh, yeah. All right. Each time say, I withdraw my change from this pattern. Instead of saying not my truth, I ain't know what else to say. Okay, hey, well, it worked. I don't suggest it, but oh well. So gradual disengagement, you guys, gradual disengagement. Instead of cutting it off instantly, feed it less energy. Each time say, I withdraw my charge from this pattern. Okay? Cold turkey, not my truth. Gradual disengagement, I withdraw my charge from this pattern. Okay? I'm telling you, wreak havoc on my nervous system. No lie. I don't recommend it. I don't. Emotionally, mentally, physically. Like, okay, one reason why I would tell you, I had constipation. It's just not, it ain't cool. I went through some shit. To the point where I couldn't shit. Go figure that. All right? Went through some shit to the point where I couldn't shit. You don't want to do that. All right? Just, I don't recommend it. Not everybody physical avatar can take the abuse that I put it through. So, yeah, no. Yeah and no. Okay? All right. Install a replacement tone. Okay? After you release, okay, so install a replacement tone. So this means after you release, give your field a new tone. Old code out, new code in. So let's say you say, I always use the illusion of separation. So I used to take out the illusion of separation, and I used to say unity consciousness or wholeness, right? I used to always say divine wholeness because I took out the illusion of separation, and so I replaced it with divine wholeness. So you will always hear me say divine wholeness, unity, divine sacred oneness. Okay, so I took out the unity, the illusion of separation, but I replaced it with wholeness. So that was a natural thing that I did before I even, so everything really pretty much I did on my own without even knowing, without even having guidance, external guidance. I did it internally. So that's why I say everything is within you. I did cold turkey, but it still guided me. The inner guidance was still there. Because I did the same thing. So it's just the cold turkey part. Okay. So install a replacement tone. So I gave you that example, I replaced the illusion of separation with wholeness, oneness. Okay. And whatever you replace, like to give you another tone, scarcity with abundance. Okay, so any dense tone, survival tone with just being. So any dense tone with a higher octave tone. Okay. Micro visualization. With micro visualization, you spend 30 to 60 seconds imagining the new reality. Simple sensory cues are enough. All right, so for instance, I now can actually see, but that's, okay, so for instance, there was a time when I was in a denser, and that was another thing, what wreaked havoc on me going cold turkey, I couldn't see nothing. And that's why I had to create a vision board, because I had clouded my ability to see because I had done collapsed so many realities at the same time, I couldn't see shit. I couldn't see nothing. So that's why I when I couldn't see anything, I had to create from an external, living through my vision. You could go on my Facebook, and you'll see where I created something because I couldn't see. I had to create something external for myself called living through my vision so that I could begin to see living through my vision. And but I can see that I was reprogramming myself even then without even knowing it. And nobody ever really took on to living through my vision, because really and truly now I get it. It really wasn't for nobody. It was for me, because I was collapsing so fast, because I was saying the not my truth so fast. I was saying not my truth so fast, and I was collapsing so fast that everything went totally, I was collapsing reality so fast, because I said not my truth, not my truth, not my truth, not my, everything went blank. I couldn't see shit. I couldn't see nothing. And I kept saying, I can't see nothing. Everybody can see stuff. I can't see shit. I couldn't see nothing. Now I can see everything. I can see stuff now. But I couldn't see jack. So this process allows you to now, when you do it in, the way that this thing is allowing you, so now you can visualize it, because it's breaking, it's slowing it down enough. I wasn't with it. I was like, I collapsed everything. Boom, 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 boom. I couldn't see nothing. Nothing. Absolutely not. So that's another thing, but I ain't care. I wanted it out. Take it out. Take it out. So that's a whole nother thing. I don't want nobody, I don't do what I did. Well, it depends. Most people probably is doing, because back in the day, we ain't had no guidance. Shit, we ain't had ChatGPT. We only had what we had inside. We ain't have nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So we had to do what we did. We did what we did, and we do what we do. Right? All right? So, and then now, body anchoring, to which I am going to begin to do it at the beginning and the end to seal the transmissions, because breath work is everything. Because remember, I told you at the beginning of everything, I had done put my nervous system, like I told you, I couldn't see nothing. I was collapsing realities. Boom, 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 boom. I was collapsing them. Boom, boom, boom. Rapid. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, not my truth, not my truth, not my truth, not my truth, not my truth. None of that shit in density was my truth. I was boom, 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 collapsing that bitch. All you saw was demolition. Boom, boom. All you saw was smoke. My nervous system was on. Hey. My breath was that to which maybe somebody was probably going through cardiac arrest. I was breathing so fast. I didn't know what slow breath was. Don't recommend it. To take a slow breath was abnormal for me. Okay? So I don't recommend it. Don't recommend it. Because obviously, this ain't my first rodeo in incarnation. I must have done did this this ain't my first rodeo. It can't be. It can't be. It just cannot be my first rodeo doing this. It just can't be, because I was a whole demolition. I was collapsing reality 9 and going north. This cannot be for the sake of me. I don't know how. So I don't know. I don't know. Cause what I'm realizing now, and I'm reading this, and I'm like, well, shit, I did this all wrong. I did it all wrong. I did it right for me, but goddamn it, this was a nice little Waldorf Astoria. This is a Waldorf Astoria way of relaxing the nervous system to get you through the process. Shit, I went straight hood. my first marriage. Shit, I went straight demolition on all these densities, man. I went straight Debo, okay? All right, so body anchor breath movement. All right, use breath or a small movement like hand over heart to signal to your body that you are safe. I ain't did none of that. My body didn't know what the hell. My body was like, what is this crazy doing? She done lost her ever-loving mind. Who is this soul? Because whatever soul took over my body said, all right, move over. Move over. I got this. Hold on. Because we finna land. I got this. Whatever the other soul came in and said, oh no, I got this. They did a Denzel Washington. When Denzel Washington, what was the name of that movie when Denzel Washington was flying drunk or shit or whatever? I got this, okay? And then he still landed the plane and saved all 135 passengers except for one or something like that. Okay? That soul said, my other soul said, move over. I got this, okay? All right? I didn't sell, all right? I didn't sell Washington. All right, my other soul came in and she moved the hell over. Get over, I got it. We gonna land this motherfucker. We gonna land it, all right? We gonna land it, all right? All right, and then, oh, look at this. Gentle unsubscribe. I just talked about that. I didn't even get this far. Gentle unsubscribe. When something shows up that no longer is yours, you can say, I witnessed this, but I do not subscribe. This no longer belongs to me. Mary laughing at me, right? Gently unsubscribe script. When something shows up that is no longer yours, I witnessed this, but I do not subscribe. This no longer belongs to me. So you are denouncing. So if somebody comes to you and say, you know what, and they have their narrative and they're imposing their belief systems onto you, and it belongs to another, obviously it's in a denser sense of that particular programming. You could just gently say to yourself that this is not my truth. Let me read what it say. I witnessed this. Hey, listen, I'm straight no chaser. So I'm like, bitch, this ain't my truth. But anyway, you can think what you want to think. See, I'm that G. Hey, I told you I'm the rebel. I'm the rebel in the galaxy. This shit ain't my truth. Get your ass over there. You can think whatever you want to think. See, that's what I'm gonna say, okay? I'm just keeping it 100. See, I ain't have all these soft landings and shit. My shit was rocky. I was on the rocky moon, the rocky mountain, the rocky road. Okay, when I landed, my landing was like this, okay? You see my hair? That's how I landed, okay? Bump. That's how I landed, okay? Y'all getting a nice little Waldorf Astoria landing, okay? Okay? That's how y'all Waldorf Astoria. Y'all got the bing. We have landed. We have landed to the soft mountains of the fifth dimensional air. Fasten your seatbelts and get your nice little cushion and your pillow and prepare for a nice soft y'all getting that, okay? But my landing was like this, okay? So I can't help it, okay? Okay. So what you gonna get from me? That's what you gonna get from me, okay? I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, okay? Cause I'm the thug. I'm a thug up in here, all right? I'm the thug version. That's what you gonna get, all right? But we now is gonna make it where you guys can get the Waldorf Astoria. Okay, you gonna get the what's the name of that place that I love so much that I haven't yet got a chance to fly to? Where they got the candy at that I want to try too. They already done brought the candy over here, but I want to try the original candy. Dubai. You guys gonna get the Dubai treatment, okay? When you get the posh the posh way. You're going to get to, be able to have the soft landing. Okay. Over here, we're going to try to get you guys to have the soft integration where you're going to be able to breathe your way through the process. Okay. We're not going to try. You're not going to, you're not going to have the Muppet. Okay. You're not going to, that's what I chose. Okay. All right. And let me see what this actually says. With the body anchoring, it does have something else. When you say we're safe, when you hold your heart over your hand and you hold your hand over your stomach, right? You're gonna say we are safe, and we are installing the new code, right? So in the installation of the new octave of light or whatever it is that you're uninstalling, what you're newly installing, you're going to say we're installing a new code. And so that's why I'm grateful that you got kicked off, Mary. Oh goodness. Well, I'm glad you're back. So you're going to say we're installing the new code, because that's really what they are when you shift into the next octave of light, is that you're installing a new aspect, a new interface of being able to, it's just like, okay, to give you an example, you know how you go from 4G to 5G? And so when you go from 4G light to 5G light, and 5G runs a little bit faster than 4G. So if you were to ever go back to 4G or 3G is so slow. Right? 4G is slow too, but 5G, so you can tell the difference between 3G and 4G, and 4G and 5G, right? I told you we the blueprint, but y'all, right? So now these programs are not going to be in 5G light, 5-dimensional, I digress, but I'm just saying. I just want to be a good bang. So when you guys are going to associate and assimilate, right? When you uninstall, is going back into the cloud. So when you uninstall within yourself, it's going back into the void. Okay? It's going back into the void. And just associate and assimilate. Quantum simplified. Okay? All right? So when you hold yourself and this is a softer way of integrating yourself to uninstalling or deprogramming from the old programming, and then you're going to install the new programming by, the words that you choose to install the new programming in the new octave of light. Okay? Right? And a gentle unsubscribe script is, as I said, when something shows up, and I'm going to say it the way they say it, not the way I would say it, not the way I would say it, the way ChatGPT says to say it. When something shows up that no longer is yours, I witnessed this, but I do not subscribe. This no longer belongs to me. Okay? Now y'all know that ain't how I would say it, but this is a gentler way of removing the no longer chosen reality. Okay? And I'm gonna recap everything so that you guys can understand it and be able to put it together and stuff like that. Okay? And last but not least, number 7. Okay? Small shifts daily are more powerful than one big tear out. I promise you, this thing was trying to that's all right, but it got me here though. It got me where I'm supposed to be. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. How about them apples? Okay. Small shifts daily are more powerful than one big tear out. This is nervous system training. And I do recommend this way because otherwise you put your nervous system in havoc. And I went for years with my nervous system in a havoc. Mostly my gastrointestinal system and my reproductive system. I put it through some things, and so you want to really, because the thing about the avatar can hold density, but if you're not strong enough to hold density and know how to release it, that is what create dis-ease. Okay, that's what create dis-ease. That's what create a lot of dis-ease. You get cancer, you get heart problems, all kind of ailments and sickness and different things of that nature. That's what create dis-ease, when you don't know how to regulate the nervous system and different things of that nature to release or mental issues. Okay, you create imbalances of the avatar. And so you have chambers within, just like the pyramids have chambers. Well, your heart is a chamber. Yes. Your heart is a chamber. For women, your womb is a chamber. Livers have chambers. Everything has a aspect of chambers. Okay, so you can, you gotta, that's why I say I had to have done this before in order for, I don't know how I made it through it. I don't know. There had to be a deeper knowing. And I've always been spiritual coming through the gate. I've always had this presence, even as a child. Everybody knew there was something about me as a child. I was always different, as they say, coming through the gate. It was always like, they called me Pie. They knew to call me Pie, and they spelled my name different. My nickname ain't even spelled right. You too, Mr. Ulrich? Yeah. My nickname ain't even spelled right. So, so yeah, so it's just, it is what it is. But I'm grateful to be in this space. That's one thing I can honestly say. This is where this is my calling. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is, when I say effortless for me, Pie, yes, Mr. Ulrich, PYE. When I say this is effortless for me, this is effortless for me. Blind, crippled, or crazy. I guarantee you, crazy will go straight out the door if you get me talking about this. And then I'll go back to being crazy. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a quick recap of understanding this whole concept of deprogramming the experiences and different things of that nature. Like I said in the last live, right? You have the observation of how you observe. Your observation is what collapses the reality into your world. Okay? Your observation. Where you are at vibrationally is going to determine how your observation is going to present itself to you, okay, mirror itself to you, and integrate itself with you, where you are, okay, where you are, energetically, vibrationally, and in frequency, okay? And once you understand that, in a state of awareness, you now can begin to decide how you want to experience and express. And I'm dropping this aspect, so if you are choosing, and this is a part of authorship, because actually I'm actually operating at the cusp of authorship, at the cusp. And I like to put myself saying I'm at the cusp of everything, because I'm at the cusp of everything, of every octave of light I have chosen to express at the cusp of it, in human experience, in human form, at the cusp. Okay? Because I want to be able to, I want to be able to express and articulate in human form. Right? So when you, at this level of consciousness, when you understand that you have always been the creator of your relative reality by how you are choosing, how you are understanding it. If you understand that you are creating the reality by you, the being, the energy being. And there are stories, like right now, there are a plethora of stories that are out there. But like I said, the reason why I'm choosing pure tone, so that when you hear the layers that are layered on the stories, you'll be able to go straight to the tone of the story. And you may hear this tone in the story, and you'll be able to pull back the layers and get to the tone of the story. And when you hear the tone, you'll be like, aha, there is truth to this story, because I hear the tone. I hear the tone in the story. There's truth to the story. And you'll know the tone of the story. The tone of the story, even though it's layered, and you'll be able to identify with, and one may say, well, Divine, how do I know whether or not if your tone is the true tone? You'll just know, because you are source. See, the difference between a being that is moving in pure tone, I'm not going to tell you that my tone is the tone and you got to listen to my tone. My tone is that of source. And because you too are source, you will know if it's pure or not. You'll know. I ain't got to say, oh, my tone is the only tone and it is the pure tone and everything. If it's source tone, will know pure tone, point blank period, because you are source. You'll just know. I ain't got to say my tone. I'm saying that I'm choosing to operate in the essence of source as pure tone. I ain't saying that my tone is pure tone. I say I am choosing pure tone. I ain't saying my tone is pure tone. I am choosing to express pure tone. Big goddamn difference. I ain't saying my tone is pure tone. I am choosing to express in pure tone. Big difference. So that simply means that wherever you hear source of itself, you're going to know pure tone, because it's source tone, not my tone, source tone. Not Patrice's signature, so is source of itself. Big goddamn difference. I am choosing to express pure tone without distortion. I ain't saying this my tone with my name on it, this Patrice Ansby tone, and this is my tone is nah. Let me make it correct, because I want to make it straight so you can understand, overstand. I am choosing to express pure tone without distortion. So that when you hear stories, you can hear the pure tone of source. Big difference. Big difference. And there is a knowing when someone can articulate it in this way. Cause says facts. So I want to make that perfectly clear. So there is no misunderstandings, understandings, overstandings, misrepresentation. This ain't Patrice's tone. I ain't saying that this is my tone and my tone is the best tone and this is no. Let's get it clear and cogent over here. Okay? So that whatever story you hear, okay, and nothing else. That's right. So whatever you hear stories that is layered, because there's a plenty of stories that are out there, plethora. Okay. All right. So when you hear the layered stories, you can hear source tone. So that will afford you to the path that you are choosing to experience. Okay? Okay. All right. All right. I don't know how long I've been today. What time is it? 12, let's say 12:20. I think I got on here at 10:38. So I'm almost at 2 hours. No, it's 12:29. I think I got on here at 10:38. Okay. All right. So that's what, it's a softer side of unprogramming, deprogramming. Think about your phone. Think about the iCloud. The iCloud is the void of self. When you totally uninstall an application on your phone, this was everyone. I think I know what you mean, Christar. I think I know what you mean. I get what you mean. When you to understand the programs and everything, think about your phone. Think about when you uninstall, right? When you uninstall it, it goes into the cloud. So everything, I knew what you meant, Mama. Chris Star Music say this was everything. I'm grateful. So when you uninstall a program or an application or whatever the case may be off of the interface of your phone, the interface of the phone is you. You are the interface. So you are taking out a program that you no longer want to be a part of your interface energetically. So you're removing that program. That program is going, hi, Starseed Journey on the IG side. Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for divinely tuning into my frequency. I'm so divinely grateful to have you, and welcome. When you're uninstalling that program goes into the cloud. So same difference is that program that you are uninstalling of the denser side of self or the survival side of self, whatever is in the survival side of self. I'm grateful. Thank you. The survival side of self is going back into the void. So the cloud, the iCloud or whatever, Google Cloud or whatever it is called or whatever, the iCloud, the Google Cloud, the Android Cloud, I don't know what it's called on the Android side, but the iCloud, right, is the same as the void. The thing about it is that when that cloud, right, when the application goes into the iCloud, it's not that it's disappeared. It's not that it's gone. It's not that it's annihilated. It's just that those codes are sitting there until you're ready to download them back into your interface and application to integrate and engage with it again to make it a part of your experience. At the vibration that you want to experience it in. The light within. You see what I'm saying? I said earlier that if I constantly keep professing that I'm quantumly simplified, what do you think the universe within is going to allow me to be as the authorship of the divine sacred self? I'm just going to be that quantum simplification, don't you think? As the authorship of the reality that I'm experiencing. Don't you think? As source. Y'all don't think them codes You don't think them source codes is in the void of self? The darkness within that the light of self within can reflect to be a part of the repertoire of the experience that is of myself for me to experience and to create an experience of myself. Y'all don't think that you don't think that could be, you don't think that could be created? Quantum simplified. Because have I not been simplifying the quantum aspect of self that has been mystified and expressed so creatively to the point where a lot of folks didn't even understand? I'm just saying. Well, we're going to talk about authorship. That's where I'm going with this eventually, because, you know, that's where I want to go. That's what I want to do. That's where I want to go. Sorry about the kids, y'all. They wasn't that quiet today. I can't give them no treats. See, I took them to Five Below yesterday, and they bought straight candy, and I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking that candy was going to roll over into today. They on a straight high from last night up until today, so they loud. But so do you guys have any questions for me? Because all lives all lives are Q&A. All lives are Q&A. Okay? Questions and answers to the best of my ability at the level of consciousness that I am at, to be able to afford a articulated answer. Crystal Music says, something I noticed when talking people off a bridge is that usually try to get them to change their perception of how they see their reality, regardless of how they see it. Yes. 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 And that's a wonderful thing to do. Because normally the program, they want to abort program because they can't see past how. That means that the program is telling them. So what happens, and now this is my perception. This is my perception. This is my perspective. When you see aspects of selves want to abort a program, is when the program has entirely taken control over them and they no longer have control. So that's one of the things about the program. You can't let the program take control over you. So that's why the S word is a sensitive subject, and I don't talk about it because I do understand it from a different level of consciousness. But I will speak of it in this way. When an aspect of self comes to a realization, not realizing it in a higher consciousness of self, that the program is now taking over an aspect of itself, then that's not the way that it's supposed to be. The program is not supposed to take over you. You're supposed to experience the program, not the program now becoming a part of controlling you to a point where you can no longer control the program. It's not about the program controlling you where you can't see past the program itself. So a lot of aspects of cells will abort the programming, but I'm not going to get into that because that's at a higher level, and this lower level of consciousness is never going to understand it at a higher level. Oh yes, experience it so we could take, right, it's just an agreement to experience it. It's never about the programming itself taking over and controlling you, no. And I'm not going to talk about it at a lower level of consciousness because people at this level of consciousness is not going to understand it. It's not worth the headache. All right? It's not. It's not worth the headache. Yeah. Right? Yeah, you're supposed to experience it. As long as it's an even exchange or a little bit of, you might have some, may have some ebbs and flows in the experience, but as long as it, as long as it comes, but when it gets to a point where you're here and it's there and it's got full range, you're going to abort. When the soul can't see his way out, it's gonna see his way out. It's gonna see his way out. Soul ain't about that life. Soul gonna look at this program. I'm gonna tell you, okay, I'm gonna give you, soul gonna look at this program. So, oh, you really think you're gonna control me? See, this the thug in me. See, this the thing. This the thing about the, okay. All right. This the thing about the thug. This the thing about the thug in me. Okay? Soul don't play. Cause. All right? You and me, cause. You and me. This you and me. Oh, experience. You playing with me? You playing with me? You playing with me? Motherfucker, you playing with me? You think you got me? You think you got me? I can show you better than I could tell you. I'm Cosmos from the cosmos, okay? Ain't no program got me. You think you got me. Mission over. Ain't no program gonna outsource me. I'm source. Ain't no source gonna outsource me. Ain't no program gonna outsource me. See, now this is some I told y'all I'm a rebel over here. Now source love is gonna say source love is gonna say it a little different. The delivery gonna be a little different, okay? It's source love. I'm a little, I'm the little rebel. I told you when they told me, Mr. Overett and Cos to come down here, okay? Especially my rebelling ass. I'm that one that pull all the plugs out in the hospital, like, take this shit off of me. I'm out. That's me, okay? Okay? And Mr. Overett is like, I'm gonna be leaving now. Just go ahead and unplug, that's Mr. Overett. Cos is just gonna poetic justice his way out of Cos. Mr. Overett is gonna Cavassier himself. Mr. Overett is gonna Cavassier himself out of. But either way, we at. Oh, Mr. Overett over here laughing. We at. Either way, we They gonna say, hey, I don't know. Hey, they gonna say they gonna set me out. They sent me first. I'm the leader of the pack. They sent me first. And rebel energy, and poetic justice, Mr. Hey, concept of justice. And they sent me first. They said we gotta send her ass first, so she could be the last one to leave. We gonna send her ass first, cause oh Lord, oh God, we already know. Demolition. You see, she plugged all every damn thing. She said she couldn't figure it out, so she blew every damn thing up. She said, fuck it. I couldn't figure it out. So I say, boom, 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 knock every damn thing down. I couldn't figure it out. I said, boom, 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 boom. Everything started tumbling down. I'm like, bitch, all this shit got boom, boom in my world, everything had to go. Everything had to go. I tried to figure it out. I'm like, if I position this right here and put it right here, then maybe this will go down. Oh shit, the shit keep coming back up. Oh shit, I was like, knock it all down, okay? Oh Lord have mercy, that shit is fun. I can talk about it now. I can. A confirmation upon confirmation. She can say confirmation upon confirmation. I can talk about it now, but when I was going through it, it wasn't funny. It was not funny, okay? It wasn't funny at all, okay? Oh God. But you know, I'm gonna make it a little bit easier for y'all, okay? Easier for y'all. But it's been fun, you guys. I hope I hope I've given it a light-hearted approach to the ascension process with some valuable information that's going to bring you guys to a sense of understanding of how. Hi, T-Love. Hey, beautiful. So, yes, I've been on here for 2 hours. 2. I'm trying, and it looked like it's trying to go over the 2 hours, so I want to try to, hey, beautiful. Hey, mama. Yes. It looked like it's, but, I'm grateful. Thank you, guys. And like I said, I'm going to end the live, you guys. I'm going to start. You ready to see it today? Yay. Hey. I'm going to end the live too now with some breath work too as well. I'm not going to just talk about it. I'm going to be about it so that you guys can start, whenever you're ready. Whenever you are ready, you don't have to stick around, you know what I'm saying? But at least you can start seeing it being done. Because I know for myself, I wasn't ready. And it took a minute for me to get into this space. And I'm just very transparent. It took a minute. It took longer than a minute. Listening and laughing while, okay, Miss Aubrey. All right. So it took a minute for me to actually get into this space. But like I said, I want you guys to have the Waldorf Astoria experience. You don't need to be, bumping and jumping and having a rock and roll like I did. All right. I want you guys to have the Waldorf Astoria experience. And that's what I'm about. Okay. So as I end this transmission, before I go, I do want to set the tone to say gratitude for the harmony that was presented in this live without any distortion, in the essence of just being joyful, transparent, the honesty and, the participation that each and every one of you on the IG side as well as the YouTube side. And I want to thank Mr. Overett for holding the fort down on the YouTube side in love. Waldorf chicken salad on the side. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Be it on the side, baby. Some real deal. Okay, let me stop. giving y'all the bourgeois, okay, right? Making it a soft landing for you guys, the Waldorf baby. And you know, so that you guys can, you know, have a good experience for those who have chosen or not even really chosen, well, yeah, chosen, but in terms of the okay, Miss Orbit, and chosen, but the ascensional path, right? Whether you are at the beginning of your ascensional path in the cusp of the awakening, guys, the cusp of the awakening, and you know the middle, or you're actually remembering, okay, the remembrance of self. Because once you get into the remembrance of self, that's a whole nother caliber of your ascension, okay. And so, you know, wherever you are in the ascensional path, I'm grateful that you have chosen me to be a part of it. So we're going to do the breath work at the end to begin to associate and assimilate the regulation of your nervous system, clear your energy field, so that way, you know, you can go about your day in a good, high vibrational, harmonic energy, and make a declaration of how you want to continue your day in that vibrational essence. All right. So once again, we're going to do the 4-2-6 method, where you're going to inhale through your nose 4 times and counts of 4, hold for 2 seconds, and exhale through your mouth in counts of 6, right? And we're going to do this 3 times, and then we are going to seal and close the transmission in divine unconditional love in harmony. All right, and we shall begin. All right. Okay. All right. Woo, amazing. And I'm so divinely grateful for each and every one of you. All right. All right. I love you guys. Have a wonderful, beautiful remainder of your day. And we shall do this again on the next go around. If you like this live, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and to give a valuable comment on how this live has served you. I am so divinely grateful. And put in the comments what experience that you have outgrown, and what it is that you're going to do differently to change the experience. What are you going to uninstall? What experience in the lower self you're going to choose to uninstall? All right. All right. I love you guys. Thank you. And thank you for all of the love on both sides of the equation, on the IG side and the YouTube side. I love you guys. Next go around later.